everybody. Welcome back once again to the Retro Wrestling Review USWA podcast. And fresh off what they're already calling the worst segment in 5-minute time limit history, I'm your host, Gene Jackson, coming to you as always from the Retro Wrestling Archive in Gadsden, Alabama, along with producer Smokey, who's making all this happen behind the scenes. So now join me in welcoming my co-host. First up, from the soon-to-be debuting video of himself and Richard Mulliken sightseeing around their hometown, I hear it's going to be called Walking in Bemis. It's Josh Briley of P3 Radio. Josh, how you doing, man? How's that video coming?
You got me with that one. But yeah, you sparked so much, man. We're gonna have to make that happen. I got
what are y'all gonna be pointing at in that one, you think?
Well, we got like the old bicycle hill in the woods with we could get some like bicycles and ride the trails and stuff. We got the post office, we got the park. You know, it's debatable if you should shoot montage footage there, but you know, and some other stuff. We got where the old mill was. It's torn down. They got a splash pad now. That would be fun.
Oh yeah, I can definitely see y'all pointing over at that. You know, as we have the, I'm sure Richard would take great pleasure in making the AI song of Walking in Bemis. So,
oh right, but I think we would self-produce that for sure. I got some fucking leather jackets we could wear. We could do it like a Fabs video.
Oh hell yeah!
I'll clean my car up real nice, make it shine.
Get a couple pieces of hay to put in your mouth as y'all are standing there.
My fucking mowers out and shit. We'll drive them while we.
Y'all are each leaning on the side of a mower with a piece of hay sticking out of your mouth. You know, 1 foot up. You know, looking like badasses, we'll say. You know,
and but if it has the same flavor, it's got to be very androgynous badasses, right?
yeah. You know. It's subjective badassery, I suppose. All right, before we get too far along, because I'm sure you start talking about Fabs videos, this guy's going to want to interject for sure. So we got to bring in our other co-host. He's the owner, founder, and president of STSpod.club, and he's currently Jonesboro, Arkansas's favorite resident. Spoiler alert, it's Brian Trammell. BT, how are you doing this week?
I'm doing fantastic. It's my best friend, Gene Jackson. Hey, that was a callback from another podcast. Hey. And my favorite co-host or host of P3 Radio, Josh. I'm getting Buck over here, brought to you by Jolly Roll Furniture. It's at 122 South Main Street, Memphis. Rob was here, but we had some emergencies and was not able to open up his old account. But we did stop by Spaghetti Warehouse, and I got that lasagna there in Memphis. Just put that in your GPS. That's what they told me to tell y'all. Put a GPS, you'll be able to find it. Let me say something. I want to thank everyone that reached out to me this week. There was some USWA people and Gene did and Rob, because we were all involved with Rob was supposed to be here Monday. And my poor dog, Duke, he's almost 12 years old, had an emergency surgery on Monday, and I was a total wreck. But thanks for everybody that reached out to see if he was okay. He's doing fantastic. He's not really too happy with what they removed from his body, but at least he's alive, y'all. They said he had a mass in his scrotum that was he ended up with his testicles being the size of marbles, and the mass had overtook the testicles. And that's why we never noticed it. He was just big bald Duke, you know, so we never noticed it.
He lost a nickname this week.
I did. I always called him Big Ball Boy. Big Ball Boy. And then he came home and started crying about it. So, and real quick, I was at a party last night. Thank you for ever who invited me. But as soon as I seen this beer, you know, it's one of those, I want to say off-brand, but what do they call it? Microbrewery. So it's microbrewed in Arkansas. The name of the beer was called Honey Love.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. I was like, I don't drink anymore, but damn, I want some of that Honey Love. And then I said,
Did you
Every
at
time
least get a can and bring it home?
No, I wished I would. I'm gonna look it up on the net. I'll send y'all a picture of it. But as soon as I saw it, I was like, I went giggity giggity. We're gonna have fun tonight, honey love. And everybody
Did you immediately say, I was in his book, you know?
None of them would get it. So I just, they were all talking about Dungeons and Dragons and Star Wars, and I
would have had to took up drinking if I was there.
Me and Misty, me and the wife was sitting there, and I said, I whispered to her, "These fucking nerds." And she said, "Yeah, if you had Gene and all your podcast people sitting around with a party, y'all would be talking wrestling. How nerdy is
cool,
that?"
Though.
That's cool. Yeah, that's cool.
Different.
Honey love beer. So
wow,
there you go.
That's tremendous. All right. Well, everybody raise a glass of honey love to poor no ball Duke. Tough week for him this week, man. That's rough. But glad he's okay. I know how that is, man. When your pets are down, it's rough, dude. They're like part of the family. So we was all thinking about you and glad it turned out well. And
you just never know what you think about. I spend more time with Duke than I do anyone in my household. And so, I mean, he got picked up, and I started getting text messages. Where's it going to do emergency surgery? I just started flipping out. So
yeah. Well, good thing that caught it in time, and everything's good now. So I guess it's time that we head back, guys, to August 11th, 1991. Dave Brown and Michael St. John are here. We got the World Tag Team Champions, Jeff Jarrett and Robert Fuller, are going to be appearing. They let us know there's going to be a brand new tag team managed by Boss Winters, who is now calling himself the Godfather, and he's going to be introducing us to the Goon Squad. Sounds like another great set of challengers for the tag champs there. Going to be seeing right there live in the studio the Dirty White Boy Tony Anthony taking on Dr. Tom Pritchard. Awesome Kong will be here with Reggie B. Fine, and we'll get to more as we get there. But Dave immediately says he wants Eric Embry brought out early because he has something he wants them to see. And we pitched to a video of Eddie Marlin. His hair's starting to come back in, thankfully. But he's got an announcement he wants to make. And that announcement is that, I don't know, he says some stuff about free agents and I don't know, a bunch of contract nonsense, which is all just a bunch of kayfabe stuff anyway. But the big thing is, he says, thanks to the fans and the Coliseum officials for the success of Homecoming 91 when we returned to the Mid-South Coliseum. Although he didn't tell us a number, Dave didn't have a number. I think one of the best kept secrets apparently in wrestling history is how many people were actually in that Mid-South Coliseum for the Homecoming. And but anyway, yeah, he says they're all on open contracts and meaning they must wrestle in any match that's requested. So that's setting the table for this. They have added a lights out match for Monday night at the Mid-South Coliseum, and this is per the request of Tony Anthony and his now fiance Kim, the Dirty White Girl, and they want to take on Eric Embry and Miss Texas in a match with no time limit, no disqualification. There must be a winner, and the loser of the fall, whoever it may be, even if it's one of the ladies, gets their head shaved in the ring. And then they cut back to the studio, and Eric Embry reacts exactly the way you'd expect Eric Embry to react. What do you think about the star of the show, Eddie Marlin's delivery of this match? And, what do you think Eric Embry's reaction?
I mean, it was expected because it seemed like they've really been putting the screws to Embry and from his perspective, but he's really been causing a lot of trouble, with interfering again and stuff. He's not keeping his he's not minding his own business, basically. But yeah, I liked it, man. I liked how it was almost Jack Tunney-ish right there at front, facing the desk and stuff. But yeah, it pretty cool.
I liked it, but I wish they would have had some lights or something in it. It's like he was sitting in a dark room making making decisions about what was going on. I like the idea of everyone having open contracts and you can put them pretty much what if a babyface requests something, even a heel says, "Hey, I want to do this." I like that. Uh, I wanted to make note before we even got started, and I forgot to, but the video that we've got up says 8:10, I believe, but this 8:11, but it's actually 8:10 because Monday was 8:12. So
Okay.
yeah, so this was actually the 11th of
A
August.
bunch of those videos were mislabeled.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck it. Originally, this one was labeled as the 3rd, and 3rd was labeled as the 11th, which
Yeah,
should have
you
been
told
the
me
10th.
that. Yeah.
So yeah, that one day off was the least of our worries on that. But yeah, I'll go back and get it corrected.
Well, it's just if somebody was searching and was
Yeah.
searching for it, and they'd say, "Well, I don't see it," but yeah, that's the one that we did. What was who made? Oh, Embry made the comment, "You will pay with your life."
Yeah,
Oh
I got
my
that noted here. I
God.
was hoping somebody caught that. That
Oh
yeah,
my
he went so far
God.
as to threaten to kill Eddie Marlin.
It's like the second time I think that
Yeah.
he threatened Eddie Marlin's life and hasn't delivered. Shaved his head though.
And
Yeah.
it's I don't know, it's funny to me, like, because Eric Embry's, I mean, he's very old school. He's been around a lot longer than I'm sure fans realized at the time, going, back to Texas and his Fabulous Blondes tag team and all that. But I don't know, I've always heard it said by like old timers in the business, like, never say something in a promo you can't deliver on. Even if you're losing, you can say, "Well, I'll beat them Monday night," but don't say something that fans know that there's no way in hell you're not going to kill Eddie Marlin no matter what happens. So don't say it. I think we even talked about this when we were talking about him threatening to pile drive Jerry Lawler off the top of the cage a while back, but I don't know. That was jarring. So I made a note. I was going to wait and let y'all talk first to see if anybody else caught it, because that just seemed odd to me.
Maybe the psychology behind that is he wants to be the biggest, most despised piece of shit possible. And he knows if he goes out there and says that shit, and obviously he's never going to deliver, that's going to make the fans fucking enraged from a certain point of view. You know what I mean? Like, this sack of shit never kills this guy, and he always says he's going to. He's not worth you know what I mean? Kind of make you detest him in a he's just a lying piece of shit way.
I came here specifically to see Eddie Marlin get killed, and you didn't deliver. I want to refund.
Damn it, you didn't kill him.
And you never kill him. You keep saying you're going to kill these folks. You never kill them, you piece of shit.
But it's like that punk at school. You know what I mean? I'm going to whoop your ass. He don't ever whoop your ass. And if he tried, you just punch him in the nose or something and end it. It's
one
of them. He's always saying shit.
So, yeah,
there's more than one option there, right, BT? You don't have to punch
right.
him.
That's right. Run as fast as you can, and since you're a fat guy, hopefully you'll be, your class will be at the front door when the bell rings. Well,
I was gonna say my option was always punching, but it wasn't because I was a badass. Because my fat ass wasn't running anywhere. I was gonna punch him and take the thumbs. So we go to our first match of the day. It's the USWA World Tag Team Champions, Jeff Jarrett and Robert Fuller. Thank God they haven't split the team up yet. They're taking on Keith Haynes and the Shadow. And
you reckon the Shadow and Keith Haynes going to be the ones to do it?
Boy, let's hope they don't split the team here, because I don't know if you've heard the news, but if anybody beats them, they're going to split the team. And man, they used to fight all. Anyway, we're not going to get into that. We'll let them cut that promo themselves. But so that match goes exactly like you would think. Spoiler alert: no, the team is not split. Jeff Jarrett and Robert Fuller managed to get past the challenge of Keith Haynes and the Shadow. And so I don't know. Are we all still of the opinion we're kind of just over the Jarrett and Fuller? I mean, yeah, we like them as a team and all that, but just I don't even need matches from them in the ring right now. Like I want to break from promos. I want to break from matches. Let's just kind of put them on the back burner for a minute and let us all kind of forget. And please, for the love of God, don't play the Walking to Memphis video for a third week in a row, or I don't know what I'll do. I don't have any hair to rip out, but I'll do something, damn it.
That was a shitty finish too. They did a shitty finish of this match. And did y'all notice that Keith Haynes, he had Jerry Lawler gear on? He looked like Jerry Lawler. He was stealing Jerry Lawler's gimmick or something.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Like Lawler didn't be like, "You're not. You can wear the tights, but you're not wearing the singlet." And he's like, "Well, you want me to pull the strap down, motherfucker? You pull the strap down, I will kick your ass." You better not even pull that strap down back in the dressing room. You better wear that shit home.
One of my bullies when I was a kid is Kevin Haynes. So that guy came out and I was scared already. So and then dressed like Jerry Lawler, who bullied me too. So I was having flashbacks right there.
Well, they say PTSD during this match. I'm sure you were happy when Fuller and Jarrett won.
Hell yeah! Fuller draped that big dong across his face.
Dropped the third leg on him, brother. So then we see where they're presented a plaque for the big Mid-South Coliseum homecoming. The Mid-South Coliseum, I think they've really come around with their hat in their hands, and they realize that, USWA wrestling was a big chunk of our income every year, and that was a major mistake on our part, no matter how poorly they were drawing. I mean, you got to think, even if they're not drawing big crowds, but if they're there every Monday night, what else is going to bring them that kind of money on that consistent of a basis? Because they're paying for the parking and they're paying for security and concessions.
They didn't have concerts or anything like that at the Coliseum during Monday night. So I remember a lot of this with Beth Wade. I want to try to research my mind, but there is another story about her, and I'm not sure what the whole story is, but when I finally figure it out, I'll share it with y'all.
Cool.
She was either the person against it, although they portrayed her as being they put her right in the middle of saying she helped, but I think she didn't want them to do it. I might be wrong, but I think she was.
It wouldn't surprise me. Did you hear that accent?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
But I thought it was cool. They put the air conditioning over twice. In the interview.
Yeah,
it is August, so yeah.
Lawler was super happy. The star of the show, Eddie Marlin, insisted that it's a safe parking environment. It's going to bring you family. It's a family affair. They seem like they're really trying to reassure everyone everything's going to be okay. Come on down and see us.
Yeah, the plaque was honoring 20 years of wrestling at the Mid-South Coliseum. And like you said, they talked about air conditioning and improved seating and fan comfort and emphasis on family entertainment and security. And so it wasn't just about handing them a plaque. They were definitely trying to drive home that, hey, you guys need to come back to the Coliseum.
And they shit on the Pipkins building too. So that might be a reason they never went back to the Pipkins building.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Hey, I gotta ask before we move, like the 20 years in the Coliseum thing. Do you think, because technically that's two different companies? You know what I mean? Because the Goulas was over here, right? And then after the split, it was like essentially some of the same people, but a lot of different people. I wonder, was there people during that time frame of, that's not true. That's not technically true.
I think the way they said it is honoring 20 years of wrestling at the Coliseum. So I don't think they specified it to a promotion. So they're just like, they've been doing wrestling here 20 years and y'all have been a part of that. So,
gotcha.
Yeah, because at that point, it's even like a third promotion if you want to call USWA separate, even though it's in name only. But
right.
I'm sure, there would be some nitpicky asshole out there yelling at their TV going, hey, that was Goulas. But not many in 91. So up next, we got the Dirty White Boy and Dirty White Girl is going to come out here and discuss this match they're wanting. Let's hear a little bit of that and see if this promo gets better than the last one we watched from these two.
Was with him, Tony. You got the match. We had the announcement earlier.
Dave, I noticed Derek Embry out here a while ago. The man seemed a little bit upset, didn't he?
Really upset.
Well, Embry, you're not the only one that's upset. I'm upset because ever since you've come here, you've tried every way in the world to humiliate me and the Dirty White Girl. And last Monday night, You did a pretty good job when you stuck your nose where it didn't belong. You come down, we had them beat, and you ripped the shirt off and hauled tail. Oh, God. But this Monday night, right there in the Memphis Coliseum, brother, you've got to walk that aisle. You and Miss Texas, I believe, whatever you want to call that tramp, have got to walk that aisle, and when you step in that ring, brother, I guarantee you, I'm promising you, and I'm promising all these people, when that final bell rings, me and the white girl's going to be standing there with our arms straight up in the air, and one of you two are going to come out looking like a nice, big, round onion. And you know what, Embry? There's not one thing that you can do about it, brother. I'll be looking for you Monday night at the Memphis Coliseum.
All right. Well, you're right. Going to be a haircut.
Big round onion, brother.
Onion is what he said.
I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't retain not one word Tony Anthony said. Like, holy shit. Him was shit for whatever, I guess the hair or whatever was going on. But good Lord, the dirty white girl was super distracting.
He was distracted. He said, while ago, y'all said, and then he said onion, and then he kept saying Memphis Coliseum. I was like,
come on, man. He's from Bucksnort.
I know. What was I thinking? They're
not proper in Bucksnort, Tennessee.
But she did look good, so there you go.
Yeah, and then the fact that you hear him say, yeah, you just ripped her shirt off and ran away last week. I'm like, where's the clip? And we need to see a clip of this.
Yeah.
We didn't get one, unfortunately.
Maybe I'll try that too. When we go to Audi today, I'll rip some girl's top off and run with it.
No, what you need to do is fake a heart attack so your old lady can run out with the cart.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Yeah.
Make sure she gets her quarterback.
That's what I was going to say. We got to get the quarterback.
Don't run off and leave your quarter, even though you just stole a whole basket of groceries. Yeah, I don't know why I included that. That's the main reason I did, because it's not like that was a stellar promo and the volume's even kind of low on it. But I kind of figured that would be the consensus. That even, and then she's only like kind of peeking in the corner. But I know,
but I don't know, dude. The hair, the way it was fixed.
She was looking right at you, Josh.
Oh my God,
Josh Briley.
I think this is probably when my mind changed, because she's always coming out there with that 80s hair. Like she didn't go to the mall or something.
My mind kind of changed.
No, I'm 9 years old. I don't like girls. I'm still in. And then I seen Dirty White Girl. I'm like, well, I think I really like girls.
You went from I don't like these girls, honey, to
it was a
I think I might like you. You go from Bert to Fuller. That summer.
Oh, jeez. That gives a whole new meaning to the summer of Fuller, don't it? Yeah, Jesus.
Oh, the old stud. Well, anyway, we hear about the card for Monday night, which, as always, we'll save for the end, because boy, do we have a segment coming up now. This is going to be kind of a little bit of a long clip, longer than usual. It's like 4 minutes, but we're going to get the promo where the Godfather, Boss Winters, introduces us to his new tag team, and then we're going to see them in the ring in action. So get ready on the other side of this to talk about the debut of the Goon Squad.
Coming this way, it is the one and only Boss Winters with his new team, the Goon Squad.
That'll be the Godfather, Davey. Yes, the Goon Squad, the faithful Goon Squad, has taken the pledge of Omerta, the promise of silence in everything pertaining to family business. And with the Goon Squad at my side, I will take the world titles. The Godfather will rule the USWA.
Well, you're not going to do it standing here telling me about it. The way to win the world titles is to get in the ring, start working your way up the ladder, and get a match with the champion.
Dave, you should show a little respect for the Godfather. I do know where you live. I know where your wife is. I know your schedule.
That's enough of that. How about taking him right onto the ring right there? Boy, I tell you what, championship match is, as a matter of fact, signed with these guys coming up later on. Today, this is a match in which we're going to get a chance to see just what the Goon Squad is all about. Referee Paul Neighbors calls for the bell. He said instead of Boss Winters, it's the Godfather now is at ringside. Michael?
I caught that too, Dave. And the Goon Squad right away going up against Ben Jordan and TD Steele, and they've got Ben Jordan cornered. And one of the members of the Goon Squad, the smaller of the two, if you would, goes to work. on Ben Jordan. And right away stomping at him. Maybe the Godfather. It's going to take some time for me to start calling him that. I've called him Boss Winner for so long. But maybe the Godfather has found a team that is capable of taking that world title. Who knows? And right now, they've got young Ben Jordan in trouble in the ring, the bigger of the two in the ring right now, working on Ben. Sends him into the corner. He's going to make the tag, and here comes TD Steele. And TD Steele and Ben Jordan, two youngsters that have made quite a name for themselves in the USWA, but right now being manhandled by the Goon Squad.
Well, they sure are. This Goon Squad guy here, he's a big one. He just got him with a neck breaker.
The Godfather gets whatever he wants, Dave. You're seeing it right now. This is proof in action right now. The Godfather will rule the USWA.
Well, that's the Godfather, Boss Winters. Goon Squad makes a tag. This is the smaller of the Goon Squad taking over. They double team TD on the exchange there.
Just looking at using that headbutt right now, looking at the wrestling gear of the Goon Squad, sort of loose fitting, just sort of hanging on, and so far they're using it to their advantage, keeping at bay TD Steele right now, and he gets a shot. There's another one. The Goon Squad obviously looks like they are ready for business, or at least mean business here in the USWA.
Boy, you're right. These guys could be trouble. And under the mask, boy, you know, they're kind of hiding out under there. And they'll maybe try some of those tactics. There's one right there, double forearm across the back, but they'll also try an illegal tactic or two, perhaps. These guys may be trouble for the champions.
Never can help but wonder when you see a new masked team come into the area exactly what they're hiding, and if perhaps this group has syndicate connections or something of that nature. Certainly a change in philosophy, if you would, for the Godfather. And look at him. Boss Winter, always known to get his shots in, gets one in on TD Steele on the floor. Now Steele will roll back into the ring.
Well, he may have changed his name, but he hasn't changed his style.
Just as the Godfather swept the streets clean, all the scum and the trash to rule the city, so I will rule the USWA.
Well, unfortunately, he's off to a good start with these guys. Especially this big guy here is something else. He backs TD Steele under the rope. Look at him firing across the ring.
TD Steele caught up in that bear hug. Look at this. Clothesline down. Steele goes down. Double teaming on Ben Jordan in the corner. Here's a roll-up. 1, 2, 3. And it looks like the Goon Squad are going to get their first victory here in the USWA right here on television. Victory over TD Steele and Ben Jordan, making short work of them.
Boy, they look tough. The match only went about 3 minutes.
Right, and was there any doubt in your mind, Dave? Remember, I know your schedule. I know your comings and goings. Show respect.
Word from Boss Winters, and there go the Godfather. I beg your pardon. Let's regroup. We'll be back.
All right, so I don't usually play a whole match like that, but the Goon Squad makes the dog catchers look like the Road Warriors. Like, I admittedly didn't get to do as deep a research as I normally try to do, but I did try to find out something about. Nobody knows anything about these guys. BT, do you have some insiders? I have no idea who these guys are. I'm guessing it's just some outlaw guys that they dug up.
Are you joking?
No, I'm serious.
Jamie Dundee and Rockin' Randy.
Is that who that is?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
That's what they're saying. That's what everybody said. So I thought you were joking about it, but that's what I'm getting. I may be totally wrong, but
I wasn't asking the right people, apparently.
They keep saying a big guy, but I didn't think Rockin' Randy was that big, but I bet he's bigger than Jamie Dundee. So
oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense for the little guy.
Yeah,
I thought it was somebody like it just started wrestling school and they just got past swinging neck breaker day because that's just kept fucking doing swinging neck breakers.
I was watching this in the living room. The wife let me watch TV in the living room. She usually don't do that, but I was being a good boy that day. And I was like, this has got to be the worst. And then I saw one of the guys moving. I said, he looks like somebody I should know. And she goes, how can you tell with what they're wearing? And I thought that was funny because, you know, us as wrestling fans, we're always looking at somebody and going, that's so-and-so, blah, blah, blah. But then I said, why are they wearing scrubs?
Orange. like
orange scrubs
prison
is what-
jumpsuit style scrubs.
Yes, but that's what. But I wouldn't. My wife said maybe they're from prison, Brian, and I was like, oh yeah, I get it now. But I guess I had to have her explain to me what was going on because all I could think of is being at a doctor's office with those stupid orange scrubs on. So,
But at least get a Sharpie and put DOC on the back or some shit.
yeah.
But I couldn't get into it because of the ridiculousness of the outfits. It was like shoddily made, and
Yeah.
it just, I don't know. I couldn't get into it.
They got them scrubs at some kind of medical place, and then.
Well, no, it's something somebody made. Because,
Oh, you think so? Yeah, them masks are horrible.
Well, you could see how they had cut the neck out. It was like scissor, like all uneven and shit. And the arms had the elastic band, so it was like a fucking bottom of a pants. Like here on their arms.
Oh, wow.
Where
Yeah, I didn't
it wouldn't
notice
flare out. Yeah, horrible.
You forgot, Josh. BT, we've got a Briley on staff here, and they are experts on wrestling gear.
Yeah, well,
they know about how that shit's made.
I see the wife in scrubs every day going to work. I don't know why I didn't notice something like that, but yeah, he is an expert when it comes to stuff.
Did you hear Michael St. John explaining how that gear was there? You notice the gear, Dave. It's very loose fitting, and it's keeping them in control of this match. Like, how is that shitty outfit helping them stay in control of this match? Like, what are you talking about? It looks like Freezer Thompson and Awesome Kong ought to be tagged up wearing that shit. It's 5 sizes too big.
Maybe the idea was like to disguise them so you can't tell who they are, because the Boss Winner's just trying to be like the mafia thing. So
yeah,
the great disguise, like you can't see any of their revealing features or whatever. But
now that line at the very beginning of the promo when Boss Winner says they've taken a vow of silence makes sense, because if one of them is Jamie Dundee, the minute he opened his mouth, like,
can't talk. Yeah,
I was gonna say, Josh, what would it be like if Jamie was here right now and was like, "Hey, tell us about the Goon Squad"? What do you think he'd have to say about that and those outfits they were wearing?
I mean, I ain't gonna say who I am, or who I'm a part of, but I really do think the Gambino crime family is about the ones that you can model yourself after if you want to be successful in this line of work. But I ain't saying nothing, though. I done burn up a damn, what is that, a death card on the tarot, whatever the fuck it was. And I done sliced my hand blood oath, man.
And of course, he would later get acquainted with real jail clothes and definitely know the difference a little while down the line. But yeah, I don't know, man. We've reinvented Boss Winners. He's now the Godfather. I'll tell you what, this is one of those episodes. I don't know if he got up on the wrong side of the bed or if his wife had given him shit. But this is one of those episodes where Dave Brown ain't taking shit from anybody.
Nobody, no.
Embry was out there hollering earlier and he ran him off. And then he's like, all right, if you want to prove it, get in the ring. And Boss Winner starts talking shit. And Boss Winner's like, I know where you live and I know where your wife works or something. He made a threat about his wife and that goes, that's it. He basically, get the fuck out of here. I mean, that was his tone. I was like, God, I was like, it's Stone Cold Dave again. He ain't having it today. Reggie better watch his P's and Q's when he comes out here later, because Dave will be like, get your fucking ass out of here right now before I slap you.
His wife forgot to put cinnamon on the toast before he went to
work. He had to whoop her ass before he left the house.
Like, where's the snowbird puppet? I got to get to work.
Oh, what do you mean you let the grandkids play with it? What the fuck?
It's not a toy, okay? So yeah, that's the new tag team. So we went from the generic assassins, but they called them outlaws, but they were wearing assassin outfits, and then we went to the barroom brawlers. And then these guys, and about halfway through this match, when I was watching it the other day, I thought, is it sad that I want the barroom brawlers back at this point? Like,
yeah, that was rough, y'all. That was real rough. And I was always a mark for the heel mass tag team. That was no matter who it was.
Broke you.
But that just broke me. Even Rough and Ready. We've been talking about Rough and Ready on the CWA, and I'm a big fan of them. But man, the Goon Squad was too much for me.
Dude, Boss Winters could have came back and gave Rough and Ready some kind of mafia thing. Just put them in a couple of hats or something, or had them, been like the full-blooded Italians a few years early, and that would have been so much better than the Goon Squad. That's another thing too. Is just like, so you don't give them any kind of mafia-sounding name or look. Okay, fine. Those are supposed to be prison jumpsuits. The Goon Squad, though, how does that even? Anyway, we spent more time on the Goon Squad than it deserved.
They should have came back as the informants.
Yes, exactly.
Or something.
Something that would have been remotely. But I'm sure this is one of those deals because you hear people say it all the time. We all know people that worked for the Memphis promotion at different periods of time. And I'm sure this is one of those things that Lawler's on a whims, like, said something to Embry or whoever, like, well, what if we just had a tag team where, I don't know, Boss Winters is like in the Mafia or some shit. Just get a tag team. I don't give a fuck. What are we going to call them? We'll call them the Goon Squad. Perfect. Get them out here. Get them here next Saturday. And
I'm just happy that Vince didn't see this. He would have went up there with WWE with the Goon Squad big time. They'd probably been tagged.
We're gonna print money with the Goon Squad, pal. God damn it.
Goon Squad against the Ding Dongs. You think maybe we could have that?
Hey, that'd be a lot of orange.
You can get Captain Lou to be their manager. He needed a job at that point.
Yeah.
Well, he was some kind of mafia type thing. When he was wrestling, I'm pretty sure.
They were the
Tony
Sicilians.
Altamore, whoever it was.
Him and Tony Altamore were the Sicilians back in the day. So, dude, can you imagine all that fluorescent orange in the ring with the Goon Squad against the Ding Dongs? I mean, wow, that's a.
Well, I think we should just throw old Dino Bravo in the whole thing where he'd be selling counterfeit cigarettes too.
Only if we put him in one of those outfits like the Goon Squad's wearing. All right, so I don't usually like to do back-to-back videos, but this next video package, we've got to see this. We're going to see highlights of Jerry Lawler versus Leatherface from last week, and then Dave's going to talk to Lawler in the parking lot. Let's hope the Gilberts aren't anywhere around. This could go badly. Check this out.
King climbs up to the second rope. Goes to drop the big fist, but Leatherface quickly moves out of the way. Lawler finds no one at home as Pritchard up on the ring apron is handing Leatherface something. Leatherface handed Pritchard something. Leatherface with the chain, that's it. Has the chain going in after Lawler. Lawler with the fire, throws it on Leatherface. Has that apron that Leatherface always wears in the ring on fire. Lawler seizes the opportunity, goes in, and takes the match.
There's that situation with the King. The King has asked if we do his interview in the parking lot of the television station, so I'm going to do it. I see him over here. Come on around, King. What are you doing here? My goodness gracious.
What like I'm doing? We're having a little barbecue out here. Come on around here, Dave,
okay.
If you don't mind.
Let me get my microphone here.
Okay, I did some marshmallows for you. Here you are. Want one? What's the matter?
Those are a little done for me, I'm afraid.
A little done. You know what? I have always had that problem, Dave. I've always, all my life, I wanted to be a good cook, but I've always had a problem. I burn things. I burn everything that I try to fix. Now, I don't know what causes that, but if you get any idea of what I'm saying here, I want Awesome Kong and I want Reggie B. Fine to know what they're in store for this week. I want them to know what to expect. I want them to feel what this Leatherface guy felt last week. Because you see, when it comes down to the World Heavyweight Championship, that's one thing. When it comes down to winning a belt and a title as prestigious as that, that's very important. And of course, I want that belt back around my waist. Look, burn him again, doggone it. I want that belt back around my waist, of course. And of course, this big, nice, fine fur coat that Reggie B. Fine is also putting on the line, that's nice too. Sure, it'd be lovely to have that nice fur coat. I don't know what I'd do with it, but I'd like to have it. But the main thing that's on the line here is my hair. Now that's what we're talking about. That's what's important. That's what I can't stand to lose. So you see Reggie and you see Awesome Kong, I want you to know that when it comes to saving my hair, you're looking at a man that is going to have to do anything. I mean anything and everything to make sure that I don't have to sit down in the middle of that ring and get my head shaved. So you see, Kong, you're big, 464 pounds. That's true. You are awesome. And Reggie, you got a mouth almost as big as Awesome Kong's body is. And you like to spout off about how big and how bad and how tough and how mean you all are. And how you love sporting that World Heavyweight Championship and all that gold and that big fine fur coat around town. You love all that, don't you, Reggie? Well, let me tell you something. What you better do is, you better get your picture made with Awesome Kong and that belt and that fur coat. You better get your picture made every time you can get to a camera. Because I got news for you, Reggie. Monday night is not that far away. And as I said, when it comes to saving my hair, I'm going to have to do anything and everything that it takes. And you see, Reggie, can you see yourself right there, boy? I got a nice little picture of Reggie B. Fine right there. And doggone it. Look, Dave, he burns too. Remember that, Reggie, because the king is coming Monday night to do one thing, and that's to put that World Heavyweight Championship belt back around my waist, no matter what it takes. Do you understand me?
Monday night, we'll be back with more after this.
Yeah.
Well, that was a bit of a long way to go for that payoff, but first of all, I apologize for how low the sound is in these videos. They sounded fine in the video editor, and then we get here and play them. But we're using a different version of StreamYard, so there may be some setting tweaks we may have to do after this first test run. But do you guys think when Leatherface was going over and being handed the weapon that we're spraying freaking alcohol or something on the front of that, on the front of his, I can't think of the word I'm trying to say. Apron. Yeah, spraying the front of his apron because that thing went up quick.
Yeah, more than likely the Tojo was spraying something.
Yeah.
I to know that, he soaked it in fucking whatever. I don't know that you could soak it in anything and wrestle for probably as long as they did.
Oh.
Do that. But man, this is a source of childhood trauma for me. Do you know that?
Really?
Because I just briefly said last week that I had, because of the past week's show, I had my first wrestling dream. And what it was I was so excited about Lawler versus Leatherface and potentially Leatherface being exposed and figuring out who he really was and stuff. And I knew, more than likely Lawler's not losing his hair. So I was super excited, enough to the point where Friday night, I had a dream about the match. And, they're fighting, everything's happening. And then before the end of the match, I wake up. And when I wake up, I notice it's after 10 o'clock and I freak out and I turn it on. And Eddie Marlin's sitting there at the desk. So I was like, oh, shit, they're announcing it. He's going to, and they didn't say anything about it. And then this clip comes on. And then they show the fire thing, which is awesome. I love it. But where's the unmasking? There's no unmasking. Like, Lawler still got his hair. The other stipulation was he will be exposed. You're going to find out who he is. Lawler said, I want to know. And nothing. Like, this pissed me off and disappointed me so bad as a 9-year-old. Like, I cannot tell you how devastated I was. So, but I was hoping that before the end of this show, they were going to at least circle back around. Oh, yeah, and I am going to spoil this one. It don't fucking happen. So, man, you talk about, I did not get the Red Ryder BB gun at Christmas. You see what I'm saying? It tore me up.
BT's so pissed right now. You blew a spot.
Oh, crap. No, man. I thought the funniest thing about this was, number one, I didn't notice that till you re-showed it, because they did. It's either lighter fluid or alcohol, probably, because alcohol evaporates really
Yeah, that's what
quick.
they pour on the tables is
Yeah.
rubbing alcohol. So I'm sure that's what they sprayed on it.
My favorite part is when Lawler tries to go in the door and they don't cut it, and then Lawler sees Dave Brown coming out, and Lawler turns around real quick and runs to the grill. I rewound that like 3 or 4 times just to watch it. I hated this. I hated that whole barbecue bullshit. It was so stupid to me. So,
like I said, it's a long way to go for that payoff. You know,
Yeah,
I keep burning it. I was like, God damn it. Okay. Yeah, Josh, you make a really great point that I want to touch on here, because I beat my head against the wall. Like when I got involved in wrestling, the promotion that I started working for, and the guy that promoted it and helped train me is a guy who had did jobs for Bill Watts back in the day. So he'd been around wrestling a long time and had did it at higher levels than just local shit. And there was a match they had promoted right before I was going to the shows as a fan, even after I started training. And there's a match they had been promoting. And during the week that week when we were at training, he's like, yeah, Bubba and them's not going to be there, so we're just going to do this instead. Like, nobody gives a shit. He said, folks don't remember month to month what we promised. Like, Sammy, yes, they do. Like, that, if nobody's remembering this shit, what's the point of any of this? Like, yes, they do. Just like they had me, like my debut, I came out of the crowd. They did this big angle where they had set up a tag match they had been building for months. The monthly show, they'd been building this, and finally the lady announcer / promoter / general manager / she could just arbitrarily make rules. So she's like, next month when we come back here to Tupelo, all the wrestlers are going to be locked out of the building, because every show, just like the Texas stuff with Eric Embry, a heel was running in and costing the baby faces the match. We're going to lock all the wrestlers out of the building. There's no way there's any interference. And Sammy, you and Big Bubba Monroe, y'all are finally going to lose the belts. And so everybody was psyched. And so me and my friends buy a ticket. We come in the front door. We sit in the crowd through the whole match, and we're cheering, acting like just like every other fan in the building. And when it got to the spot in the main event, I jump up, run across the building, pull out some starter fluid and a rag, and ether Chris Kilgore, and the heels go over. And now suddenly I'm the biggest shithead heel in the company, and I haven't even finished training yet. So when the next month show rolls around, I'm like, hey, am I wrestling? And Sammy's like, no, not yet. You're not ready yet. You're going to work security. I left the building with more heat than anybody there. How the fuck am I going to work security? I'm going to be out there amidst the people that wanted to kill me last month. I'd be fine. What? So then I'm worried about that, because they were actually drawing like 400 or 500 people in that little building in the community center every month. Because this was in '97. This is when wrestling was like booming on, the Monday Night Wars, the whole bit. And so about 30 or 40 minutes before the show's going to start, he sends somebody to come find me, and they go, hey, Rocky Ewing is going to be here. Sammy wants you to wrestle. He's a babyface. Yeah. What? So I go find him, like, what the you're having me work as a babyface after I did that in the finish line? He's like, nobody's going to remember it. Yes, they are. Like, I had people cussing me when I was getting in my car. He's like, well, he's like, go see Pat. He's got 50 masks in his bag. Just wear a mask. Okay. To make things even better, I was a babyface wearing a mask. I'm the only guy my size on the show, and I'm tag teaming with the guy that I fucking ethered the month before. And the music plays, we come to the ring, and immediately fans, as we're going around shaking people's hands, like, Chris, that's the guy. That's the guy that did. I was this close to calling an audible and just turning on him and ripping the mask off and just beating the shit out of him. And after the fact, after the reaction we got, I told Sammy that. Sammy's like, you should have did it. Follow your instincts. Next time, if you think it's the right thing to do, just do it. And I was like, well, okay. But my point being, all wrestling people's mentality, they think that nobody's going to remember, that nobody pays attention to this shit. And I think Memphis especially underestimated over the years how much damage they did to their fan base not delivering on stipulations. All the way back to the Lawler and Idol hair match, where nobody lost their hair. You can look at attendances, and attendances started going down right then. And it got to a point where you built up big things like that. I think that's why they had to, in 87, they had to make that promise that Austin Idol would refund everybody's money, so that they knew they were going to have to deliver on something, because people had burned so much in Memphis that they were just like, no, you're not getting us. And then it was like, oh, either a haircut or a refund. All right, I guess we can't lose. Let's go. But I mean, we know Josh's feelings on it. BT, do you agree that they did more damage than they considered it to? And if that's the mentality of wrestlers that nobody's going to remember?
Yeah, I didn't see it then, but I really see that, you start looking at attendance and what's going on. When Giant Baba started really, drawing and selling out all the time, X amount of shows in a row, it was because he did legit a finish. There was a finish to every match. Somebody got pinned. And I think they really needed to learn how to book with either the babyface or the heel going over and then getting heat or doing something after the match, because people with that one, Lawler not getting his head shaved, I think hurt big time. Instead of Lawler just getting a haircut. I really think that hurt big time.
And I think they thought that, well, fans are going to be so happy that their hero didn't get his haircut, they're not going to mind. But they're a fan of his, but if the stakes don't mean anything, I remember having a conversation with Sammy on a couple of long car rides. I'm like, the whole premise of what we do is to try to get people to invest in what we're doing and make stakes to where people are so invested they got to come buy a ticket and come see what is going to happen, and hopefully bring people with them and be like, holy shit, you're not going to believe what's going on down there. And then for your attitude to be, none of this shit matters, nobody cares, then what are we even doing? We're obviously not good at this shit. If you truly believe that nobody cares and none of this matters, then why do we waste all this time trying to build expectations and create storylines if we think nobody's going to give a shit anyway? I've never understood that mentality.
And Mexico's the best about this. They've always, the hair versus mask thing. Yeah. And there is wrestlers that go years until they're beyond their retirement age that won't take their mask off because they want that big payoff for their mask. And because they take their mask off or they get their head shaved. Everybody knows that if you're going to go to that show, that's going to be the end result. Yeah, a big, long study. I've said, a lot of stuff had to do with, not pushing any new talent, but that may be a lot to do with not having, real finishes in matches. So
I know it's certainly been a turnoff for us, both in TV matches and in going over the results for the last 2 years of this show we've been doing. We get excited the week we set it up, and then we get to the end of the show and realize they didn't pay any of it off. And you just there's so many shows that have ended so flat because we're all just so fucking disgusted with what we just read.
Right.
Because we spent a whole hour getting hyped about it, and then it's like, oh, this was all going nowhere. Speaking of our next match, the Dirty White Boy Tony Anthony versus Dr. Tom Pritchard, we have a decent little TV match, and of course, this is how it ends.
Pritchard and Embry now both working over Tony Anthony, the Dirty White Boy. Tojo Yamamoto is out here. Wait a minute. Miss Texas has got a chair in the ring. They've got the chair in the ring. What are they going to do here? They've got Anthony up. They're going to pick up the knee. Oh, my goodness. They're going to drop the knee on the metal chair. Dropping the knee kneecap of the left leg of Tony Anthony, the dirty white boy, and now they've got Tim and Texas going after each other, and Eric Embry whipping the knee of the dirty white boy with the Texas flag. Here comes Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett with right hands for everybody. He's got that flag pole, and Jeff Jarrett is cleaning out. Now Miss Texas jumping on Jeff. Miss Texas slipped down on the floor. She's going after Jeff Jarrett. Look at this. Jeff got Miss Texas. I didn't think I'd ever see that. But Jeff Jarrett took matters into his own hands, and unfortunately, Dave, we've got a more serious situation than I think we originally anticipated.
Yeah, we've got some help out here for Tony. They're going to have to get him out of the studio here. Be careful with the knee. Let's go to a break. We'll be back in a moment.
Holy shit. Oh my God. First of all, I want to say I hope that floor was all right. They didn't do any damage to the tile when Eric just beat the shit out of it with that flagpole, because you could obviously see that was the only thing getting damaged by them flagpole shots. But you forget about that pretty quickly when the first time Jarrett knocks Miss Texas down, she pops right back up, tears right back into him. And that second time, he laid her out with that right hand. Even in 91, that's a bit alarming. Nowadays, it would, just call the law. But even in 91, that's pretty damn jarring. What y'all think of this clip?
And she even had the old Shawn Michaels, how he would spit in the air when somebody hit him with a good punch. Visually, it was so pleasing. And I love, man, Jeff came out again like a pit bull. He's swinging on everybody like it's a real fight. And you could see that's the same energy Miss Texas had. She fucking hit him with that right after she popped up. And it was like a real fucking right. But you could see she was slapping him, but still slapped the piss out of him. And then he looks at her like, did you just do that? And she, bam, slaps him again. That's when he grabs her by the head of the hairs, my granny would say. And knocked the shit out of her, dude. It was such good shit. Even, with the injuring of Tony Anthony's knee, it's like Embry's desperate. He's so fucking desperate not to have this match that Eddie Marlin screwed him over with by setting it up. So it all the way around, it's putting the cherry on top of this show.
I liked it. I love the match between Dr. Tom and Dirty White Boy, but knowing the whole time someone was going to interfere kind of takes you out of it. But those two guys, they were so good. We got Dundee and Danny Davis having 5-star matches, and we got Dirty White Boy and Dr. I mean, those four guys, I think I could watch matches between them all day long. But the punch, I really thought, y'all, that he was just going to grab her and someone was going to cut him off. I did not, and I said, fuck. I mean, I did not believe he was, and he looked like he knocked the hell out of her. So
sure did, man. And it was an interesting, I've never seen the way they picked Tony Anthony up together and dropped his knee into that chair was pretty rough looking too. The flag shit on the floor looked like ass, but the dropping his knee across the chair in the ring looked rough as hell. But yeah, man, to your point, like, he is straight up stone cold Jeff Jarrett at this point. Like, when he comes out, it's finna be some whoop ass unleashed, boys. JEFF, what? I mean, just get ready. So,
man, woman, child, line them all up. I'll slap every damn one of them.
That's right. Poor Miss Texas, boy. She got rocked. That is, I had some interaction with Miss Texas this week. She liked the article that I wrote, and she said she's going to do an interview with me. So, I'm putting that on my list. Tell me about the time Jeff Jarrett punched you on TV. Either he worked that punch and you sold it perfect, or he knocked the shit out of you.
We want to know about Coco beating the shit out of him.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot there. I'm super excited. There's so much stuff that I want to ask her, and anything you guys want to ask, feel free, or y'all can join in, whatever we want to do. Because man, there's so much '93 stuff. Bubba Johnson. I mean, whew. But anyway, we'll talk about that later. So after the attack, Embry's celebrating that they've injured Tony Anthony, and he mocks him, and he says Eddie Marlin won't get his match now. And Dave, once again, Dave ain't having this shit today. He can be pretty hard for his actions. So then Dr. Tom Pritchard's out. I have a clip of it. We're going to skip it because now we're starting to run a little bit long and the volume's so bad. But he's the Texas champion. They show a video of Lord Humongous, who's on his way in. And this video features Jeff Van Camp from '84, and that's not who we're going to get when Humongous shows up. But we'll talk about that when we actually.
Was it Paul Lee on that video too? So if that was Paul Lee,
it was a combination of both. Then because if Paul Lee was there, it would have been Van Camp and Sid. I know a couple of the early ones are Van Camp, a couple of the clips in there, but yeah, there is some Sid too. So it's a mishmash of the previous Humongouses, but we'll see what we end up with. But yeah, we got a Texas title match coming up with Pritchard defending against Humongous. So get ready for that. Then we see Uncle Danny, Nightmare Danny Davis, taking on Chris Frazier. Poor Uncle Danny. He's trying to rebuild his momentum here. He's lost his light heavyweight title last week to Bill Dundee. We saw that great promo with the two and led to a impromptu match, and these guys went from best friends and riding buddies to mortal enemies in the course of a single promo, which is just old school good stuff. And Uncle Danny puts on a clinic here. He gets the win over Frazier, and we'll hear more from Uncle Danny and the new champ here in a little bit. But first, Jeff Jarrett comes out. He's angry. He just visited with the Dirty White Boy backstage, and the Dirty White Boy seems to be seriously injured. His career may be over. So now Jeff has spoke to Eddie Marlin, and he is going to replace the Dirty White Boy in this lights out match. So it is now Jeff Jarrett and the Dirty White Girl, Kimberly, versus Eric Embry and Miss Texas. And his hair will be on the line as well. And he is now in 2 matches Monday night. I guess he's pretty confident that he can take out the Goon Squad with Robert Fuller and still have enough left in the tank to come out here and take the Dirty White Boy's place. So what a transition here. We start out with Eddie Marlin. They came to him wanting this match. He signs the match. Dirty White Boy cuts the promo, and now his career may be over. And Jeff Jarrett is stepping in. What do you think? What do you guys think the deal on this is? Do you think Dirty White Boy had another booking that night, or this is just strictly an angle? This is odd. This is very odd how this is playing out here.
Maybe he has a scheduled surgery or something coming up, and they wanted to make it. Wrestling's notorious for exploiting real illnesses, and if a guy's got some injury and he's going to be out for an extended period of time, and they'll just do an angle and injure it. And, you could see that he actually was out and had surgery on the son of a bitch. So usually they'll exploit the pictures within the recovery time. So maybe that's what the deal is. And they just wanted to make it make sense. Jeff versus Embry just out of the blue. They did it great, man. Cause I was thinking, it was going to happen with the seriousness of Eddie Marlin's opening segment or whatever. So yeah, I thought it played out well. And Jeff coming out there all raw and shit, it just adds more to the flavor. Embry's probably going to get his ass whipped royally.
Well, and Tony Anthony didn't have any visible ailments in that match with Tom Pritchard. If he'd have just done the promo, I'd have thought, all right, well, he's hurt and he's covering for it. But hell, he wrestled that match with Pritchard and seemed fine. So I don't know, but he's going to be there Monday night because he's not sending her by herself. If he had somewhere else to be, she's going to be with him. So could just be how they wanted to play the angle up. But it it is just very odd that we built the show around that match, and now Jarrett's stepping in and wrestling twice. But we'll see how it all plays out. Embry's not happy about it, obviously. He thought he was getting out of the match, and now he's going to have to wrestle Jeff Jarrett instead. So he comes out and he shits on Jeff and Jerry, and the fans are idiots. And he promises he's going to shave Jeff Jarrett's head bald. And man, can you even picture Jeff Jarrett in this time frame, bald-headed, or even with the crew cut that he got at SummerSlam years later? It'd be an interesting sight.
That was some purdy hair, y'all. Purdy hair. So,
yep, that's kind of his calling card at the time. He had been the golden boy, and I'm sure Michael St. John would have been very upset if they would have shaved his head. Good-looking guy there. Anyway, we get a big rematch, the rematch that everybody's been clamoring for ever since we saw it on TV. We're like, when are we going to see it again? World champion Awesome Kong once again stepping in against Freezer Thompson. And ironically, for me, this match wasn't impressive as his first match with Freezer Thompson, where he body slammed him twice. Or I don't know, maybe I just set the bar too high based on the first one. What do you guys think of the big rematch here?
Yeah, this was kind of like the SummerSlam 95 or SummerSlam 90. What's it, 94?
What the fuck?
Ladder match?
95. You were right the first time.
Okay, yeah, it was the second ladder match was shown in Razor. Like, you expect so much, and then it doesn't even deliver a quarter of what you expect. I think it was probably
at the Razor show.
I love it.
You get the visual.
Oh, my God.
So, yeah, because the first match was so good, and then this one, I guess it's just that those top rope splashes. That's some shit that we would do getting around, fucking around in the ring as kids and land on your feet and all that. It looked so shitty. So shitty. Yeah, he should have just let Reggie do an interview and pumped it up that way and maybe not wrestled this week. I don't know. Or maybe it was the other one. What was it? Awesome Kong, and then what's the other one's name in the tag team?
King Kong.
King Kong. Maybe it was him.
Could be.
I don't know, but that was all. Like you said, it's almost like he landed. It looked like a BT Express bump. He landed on his feet first and his knees. It was god awful horrible.
Yeah, it reminded me like my little brother back in the day. He would wrestle his stuffed Ultimate Warrior, and he would jump from the couch. Like he'd get up on the back of the couch and jump, and like you say, he'd land on his feet and then just kind of fall over. And that's exactly what this was. Exactly what this was. I could, there's so many podcasts out there and so many things get said. There's a lot of times that I would not ever dare say, you only heard it here. This has never been said, but I will go out on a limb right now and stake my reputation that never in recorded history before or after has anyone ever compared Awesome Kong versus Freezer Thompson to any ladder match between Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon. My day is officially made.
Me too. Thank you, Josh. We appreciate it.
So next up, Danny Davis is out, and then we get the new light heavyweight. I know the audio's low. We probably won't watch this whole clip that I clipped. But we got to watch a little bit of this. This is good stuff.
The new world light heavyweight champion, the superstar, Bill Dundee. Let's just let him come on around and talk to him before we go to break here and get his comments. Bill, you've got the belt. Congratulations. You got yourself a win against Danny Davis.
Yeah, Dave, I did. Now, well, Danny, I just want to ask you something, brother. I just want to ask it to your face. So I know you're standing back there, and I want the whole world to know if we're still best friends. And only you can answer that, brother. So why don't you just amber on out here and tell old Superstar that we still big buddies. Come on, because I still your friend, Daddy. I got this belt. Come on, pal, best friend, where you at?
Well, I don't. Yeah, here he comes, right here. Here comes Danny. And before the match, they agree they're partners and that they would be friends after the match as well as before. Here comes Danny right here. Let's get a comment from him and see what he has to say about the situation. Danny?
Well, how are you? I'm doing pretty good in spite of the fact of what you did. And I think everybody knows, Dundee. Everybody knows your true colors.
I told you before I ever went in that ring with you.
Danny, I didn't ask you out here to tell me how big and bad I was. I wanted to ask you a question. You sugarcoated it last week.
I didn't sugarcoat nothing, Bill Dundee. I came out here and I told the fans, I told my fans and I told your fans exactly what I thought was going to happen. I thought we would go in that ring. I thought we would go.
Danny, that's immaterial.
No, it is not immaterial.
Sure it is.
It's precisely the point.
Just answer this question. It's a yes or no question. You said we'll be best friends going in during the match, and after the match, you said we'd be buddies, right? I'm just going to ask you, are we still best friends?
Well, I'm going to tell you something, Dundee. Let's get the point clear, okay? Because the fact of the matter is, you're right. I did say we'd be friends before, during, and after the match, but I had every intention of going in that ring and wrestling you fair and square, and that's exactly what I've done.
Please,
you sucker punched me.
Okay.
You sucker punched me.
Just answer this question. Read my lips. Are we still best friends? Yes or no? Yes or no?
No, but no, come back. No, come back here. No, you come back here. You're going to listen to me. You know, Dave, I come out here because I could have sat back there in the back and let Bill Dundee make a complete fool out of me and say that I'm a coward for not coming out here. Well, I'm not a coward, and I'm not a fool. I trusted you, but I want you, you obnoxious jerk, I want you to listen to every word I got to say. You know what you done?
Okay.
Now, stop your laughing, and you better pay attention to me because I'm serious. No, you're not serious.
So am I.
No, you're a backbiter is what you are. No, we stepped in that ring, Dundee, and we gave those wrestling fans, your fans and my fans, a darn wrestling match.
Right.
Just what I said. And then what did you do?
You know why we did it?
Yeah, I know why we did it.
Yeah.
But then you turned your back on your fans. You know why? Because when I was coming back in that ring, you sucker punched me.
Well, you sucker punched me. Just
no, I did not. No.
Run off and tell the teacher, Bill Dundee hit me in the playground. That ain't how it works, brother. You punched me just like I punched you.
No, Dundee.
But now let me out here.
You shut up and listen. No, I don't care. I don't care who you are. You may be Bill Dundee, but you don't intimidate me. Not one bit. I don't care how long you have been in business. One thing for sure.
Listen to me now.
What?
Just tell the people what this is all about. It ain't the punch. What's going to happen September 7th?
It doesn't matter about
in Japan. You know exactly what's going to happen.
Let me tell you,
get your hand off of
me.
me.
You listen to me. Wait. No, you put your hand on me.
I ain't.
I'll tell you something.
Hey, give me a little.
Wait. I don't care.
We're not out here to have a fight. Now, you guys want to talk, that's fine.
Listen to what I've got to say.
Listen, but you guys are getting into a shoving match, and we're not going to have that out
here.
You want to
hit me?
No, I ain't going to hit you with a belt.
It ain't the punch.
Yes, but it ain't that.
No, it is the punch.
I'll tell you what it is. No. It's $40,000 in Tokyo, Japan. Whoever has this belt goes there September 7th and 10th and wrestles their champion. $40,000 guaranteed, and if you beat that jerk, ain't no telling how much you get. And I got the belt, and I'm going, and that's what's bothering you, friend.
No, I'll tell you what's bothering me. It ain't the fact. It ain't the fact that the man who has that title come the middle of September has a chance to go to Japan and wrestle Japan's finest for a $40,000 minimum payoff. It ain't that, Bill Dundee.
No, it's all about me.
I'll tell you what it's about if you'll shut your fat mouth and listen. Okay? Come here, Dave.
Now, look.
Listen to me.
I'm listening.
Well, then shut up for a minute. The fact of the matter is, Dundee, everybody out there appreciates you. Everybody out there appreciates me. What you done was you knew about the $40,000 deal coming up in Japan, and you're a greedy man. Everybody knows that you're obnoxious. Everybody knows that you're loud, and everybody knows that you're a stinking backbiter.
And I'm the champion, and I'm going to Japan, and that sticks in your throat.
No, it don't stick in my
craw.
No, friend, it don't stick in my craw one bit. What sticks in my craw is that you got the audacity to sell your friends out for $40,000. Does that make you a man? Hell no, it
it makes me the champion.
All right,
and
look,
I'm going to Japan, and we can fight right now.
No, we're not. Hey, come on, you two. Let's go to a break. You two, come.
All right, I couldn't turn it off. That's too good. Like, so they've managed to raise the stakes now. Now it's not just about the belt. Now we've got this Japan aspect, which is a real thing that's happening. You saw how it started last week. What do you guys think about how we've escalated it here?
Man, as disappointed as the Leatherface stuff as I was, it was like my emotions were all over the place. I was stimulated at the beginning, and then I got disappointed with the Leatherface, and now, wow, oh my God, such good shit. This is the stuff that good angles and stuff like that is made of. Like there has to be something to care about. And that's what they're doing is they're throwing out different things and they're raising the bar, to why it's so important to these two to risk their friendship, with the belt and stuff. It ain't the belt, it's the opportunity the belt is given. And I knew as a kid the Japan thing was happening because Granny, my mom and stuff, they're all, oh, he's got tickets and this and that. He's, I'm like, oh shit, that's going to be great. But I saw this on TV and I'm like, oh fuck, he's going to have to change his plane tickets. But yeah, I was really plugged into this, like because I love Bill Dundee and they were friends, and it's like I like Bill, but I want my uncle to win.
I loved it. I love these two guys against each other. The only thing I didn't like about it was that $40,000. I couldn't even believe that Bruiser Brody made $40,000 for a couple matches. He probably did, but that was the only thing. And that's being nitpicky. These two guys, are we still friends? I absolutely love the beginning of that promo where that's the reason he keeps saying answer. Just so cocky. Yeah. And I've looked ahead. Spoiler alert. I think next week's going to be even better. So, good stuff. Good stuff.
And it shows that if done right by two guys like this that are professionals, you can make anything mean something, because you know that in the Lawler Leatherface match, there were 1,000 punches thrown. On the same card, you had singles matches with Jeff Jarrett and Robert Fuller wrestling the barroom brawlers and one-on-one matches, loser leave town. There were 1,000 punches thrown. But in this scenario, Bill Dundee didn't have to set Danny Davis on fire. He didn't have to hit him over the head with a flagpole. He threw a punch. He sucker punched him and won the match. And now they're able to go out there and have a heated angle on television that his friend sucker punched him and stole his title on the same card where punches by that point probably meant nothing.
And that was
Stone Cold, they made it mean something.
Dave Brown again too.
And Dave Brown's like, I will whip both your asses if y'all don't settle down right now. I'll be the champion. I'll go to Japan and make $40,000. What about that? Just such good stuff here. And Bill Dundee's personality was always such that when needed, it didn't require a full-blown heel turn, but it was not outside the realm of reality in his personality to go out there and be a complete prick when it came to titles, money, opportunities, and nobody questioned it. But they didn't full-blown hate him, but it's just like, it's Bill being Bill. He's a dick. And they can go out there, and this can go on for weeks. And like I said last week, when it's all said and done, if he does the right thing in the blow-off match, they can shake hands, and Bill will rock right on being a babyface, although he was a complete asshole through this whole thing. And like you said, BJ, are we still friends? I don't care about any of that. Are we still friends? You said we'd be friends.
Yeah.
Are we? Because then you're the liar. You're saying I'm the one that ruined the friendship, but you're going to be the liar. Just such good stuff. And this has got me hooked to see where it goes next week. Even if I lose interest, I don't care about Lawler wrestling Awesome Kong, and we'll get to that. I got a lot to say about a couple of these matches for Monday night, because why the fuck are there two matches where people's hair are on the lines on the same damn card? I mean, we saw that shit 93. It's like, why? Why would you do that? But
they're hot shot and trying to get that crowd back in Mid-South Coliseum, make Beth Wade look good, or Wade Beth, whatever the fuck her name is. So,
well, pick a different gimmick, damn it. There's tons of gimmick matches to have. You don't have to have a hair on the line in two different matches.
I agree.
Especially when Lawler's not getting his shaved again. But anyway, next we got Reggie B and Awesome Kong coming out talking about that match. Reggie says Lawler's not going to burn him, and he'll hit him with a lawsuit if he even tries. And he's got a caricature artwork with Lawler bald headed.
I love. I'm sorry to cut you off, Gene, but like this so applies. I love during the Reggie promo before he says that, he says, "I'm gonna sue you. I know some firemen, man." Like the fact that he knew firefighters was.
He said, "I'm already dark enough." Also.
Yeah, but the fact that he knew firefighters gave him an edge on the lawsuit that he's going to.
What the hell? Yeah.
I love that shit.
He's so funny. He really is. So then, they wrap the show up. They talk about how the show's moving permanently to the 10 a.m. time slot. And
Steve Kern's not happy with that.
Steve Kern is going to be pissed. Good thing he's not booked because he would not be there.
What are we wrestling? Are we wrestling at 11? Like
for years, it's been 11 o'clock.
In the promo.
I'm coming from Florida, asshole. Yeah, it's exactly like what you'd expect him to say when faced with it in the dressing room or over a voicemail, much less on TV. Good thing Dave Brown wasn't feeling jerky that day, or they might would have squared off. But, all right, let's take a quick commercial break, then we'll come back and hear the card from
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling, the podcast that's based on the old school but can still help you find the good stuff from today. Jimmy Street and the Plastic Chic, Jared, are the undisputed tag team champions of the wrestling podcast world. From thought-provoking topics to superstar interviews to action figure expertise. This team does it all, and all they ask is, give me back my pro wrestling! Every other Thursday, wherever you listen to podcasts.
Hey guys, Ray Russell here. Lots of new stuff happening here at WrestleCopia. If you haven't checked out our website at WrestleCopia.com, it's a great way to keep up with the latest episodes of all of your favorite Copia programming, from the Wrestling Memory Grenade to Regional Wrestling with the Territory Talk, the Wrestling Stoop with the legendary Bob Roop, and of course all of those programs also available at your favorite podcast streaming platforms. And if you want to stay up to date with everything going on in the Copia world, all the latest news, random thoughts, fun videos, pictures, and more, make sure to join the more than 33,000 followers over at Facebook.com/Wrestling Grenade. Don't be left out. And last but definitely not least, it's what keeps the entire machine going. I'm talking about Patreon.com/WrestleCopia. We appreciate your support in helping us pay the bills to keep the WrestleCopia podcast network running and enabling us to continue to bring you all the quality programming that we offer.
Tired of the same boring wrestling podcast? Need something with attitude, chaos, and maybe just a little cussing? That's STSpod.club, and we got it all covered. We've got wrestling weirdness with WTF News Desk, 5-minute time limit, and the Southern Fried Brain of me, BT, steering the whole ship. We also have rolling into Mempho every week about the current Memphis wrestling. Interviews, hot takes, and wrestling outrageousness so wild it might get you banned in 12 states. That's right, it's SDSpod.club, or search all podcast catchers for Shooting the Shiznit, where wrestling podcasts grow chest hair. Not sure what that meant. Love my mama.
By God, the volume on everything else is low, but the commercial bumper was plenty loud enough. All right, let's go now and hear the card for Monday night. Then we'll discuss it on the other side.
Box office will be open Monday at 10 o'clock, 10 a.m., so you can pick up your tickets in advance. Opening match of the night. Are you ready for this one? Leatherface will be going against Rockin' Randy. Rockin' Randy back. He's been wrestling in the Pacific Northwest, I understand. Back into action against Leatherface for the opening match Monday night. Then a Texas title match. Tom Pritchard has the title. Humongous, remember him? He's back. He's challenging for the Texas title held by Dr. Tom Pritchard. Then, Southern Heavyweight title will be on the line. Eric Embry with Tojo Yamamoto going against a dirty white boy and a dirty white girl in that match. Now that's a separate match from the one Tony was talking about just a moment ago. We'll fill you in on that as we go along. Then the World Tag Team title will be on the line as Jeff Jarrett and Robert Fuller will be going against the Goon Squad. And as Michael said a little bit earlier, we don't know much about the Goon Squad, but we will probably know a lot more before the day is done because they are scheduled to go in a match a little bit later on here today. Goon Squad against Jeff Jarrett and Robert Fuller, World Tag titles on the line. Then, World Light Heavyweight title match. Michael, this one should be something else. Superstar Bill Dundee against Danny Davis.
That should be one great match. I mean, these two are great wrestlers, and Superstar Bill Dundee.
And they've been partners, and they said they had the match last time. Bill Dundee ends up with the belt, and he will be now defending the title against Danny Davis. Then, main event of the night, no time limit, no disqualification. A World Heavyweight title will be on the line. A fur coat will be on the line. That's Reggie B. Fine's fur coat that he's been parading around town in. So the title and the fur coat on the line against, look at that, Lawler's hair. Lawler against Awesome Kong. Reggie B. Fine will be in Kong's corner. That's the main event Monday night at the Coliseum. But as Eddie Marlin said a little bit earlier, that's not the last match. The last match, lights out, no time limit, no disqualification. The loser of the fall gets the head shaved, and there must be a haircut down there on Monday night. Dirty White Boy, Dirty White Girl, you just saw him a moment ago, will be going against Eric Embry and Miss Texas. The loser, whoever it might be, whether it be Dirty White Girl, Miss Texas, or Eric Embry or Dirty White Boy, the loser of the fall gets the head shaved.
So somebody's going to get barbered Monday night, without a doubt. So Barber's going to be busy no matter what.
Barber better bring the clippers. They are going to definitely be needed for the main event. 8 o'clock is when it all begins. Monday night at the Mid-South Coliseum. Remember, the box office will be open at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, so that wasn't the updated card, but we all know how that went. All right, so what was your least favorite part of this week's show?
No, it's not going to be a surprise, but the Leatherface no reveal. It's just, like I said, soul crushing as a kid. It really, really, I guess, put impact on me in terms of like what I believed whenever wrestlers would say shit like that moving forward, because I knew that they could just.
They were big liars after that, didn't you?
Well, it proved that you could say whatever you want and then not deliver, and nobody, as long as nobody acts like it's a problem, then it's okay. We'll just push forward.
Yeah.
My least favorite was Barbecue with the King. I thought that fell really flat. It was just silly, and it was hilarious at the front when he ran from the door. But I thought the whole thing it lasted like ever how long. It lasted too long to try to get the point across. So.
Those are all good picks. I'm gonna throw out there that my least favorite part was Boss Winters and the Goon Squad, because it just felt like a modern day Rough and Ready. Like if this was just a tag team for Jeff and Fuller to squash on TV, that's fine. But you're trying to get me to come buy tickets to see these guys challenge for the belts. And I'd say the fact that Rockin' Randy's on the card definitely probably says that the people who told you who those guys are were definitely right, because suddenly Rockin' Randy's back from the Pacific Northwest, as Dave said. So
yeah.
What timing? What was your most favorite part of this week's show?
Are we still best friends? Like,
yes,
me too. I love that. Like, like you said, it's that kind of drama is what makes just a simple punch mean so much, because there's so much. It feels like real heat. The things that they have said translates in real life problems, and the majority of people that are watching are common people with common problems, So yeah, that resonated better than anything else I've seen on the show, and it felt real. So it's not very hard to, believe in it.
I agree 100%. My favorite part too. I just have a question since you guys know who's going to Japan. Is there footage of that out there?
Yes.
Really?
It was.
I have it on my channel.
Oh, okay. Good deal. I'll go watch it then. Awesome.
Yeah, they trade the title in Japan, back and forth and stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm definitely signing off on that. That's definitely the best part of the show. And that's a great point, Josh. It's super relatable. You can't necessarily relate to alleged Godfather bringing in his vow of silence former convicts or whatever the hell, or Reggie B putting a fur coat against somebody's hair, and some of the silliness that's on this show. But everybody has got at some point, whether it was this dramatic or not, where like, are we still friends? Are we crossed? Like, what the hell's going on here? So you can relate to that. So just great stuff.
There's your shirt. There's another shirt too. Are we still friends? There you go.
I got to put over too. Like whenever they went to Japan, it was for Victor Quinones's Wing promotion.
Okay.
So like they had one little tour before that. So this was basically like Wing's second little outing or whatever.
Yeah.
Pretty cool being there at the beginning.
Awesome.
Yep. So would you guys buy a ticket for this week's show based on what we've seen today?
Absolutely. Even if it was just to see the one match with Bill and Uncle Danny, I would go. I beg my mom to drive me to Memphis just to see the outcome. It's so good.
I'm tossed up on this one. I really want to see the. I know Lawler's not going to lose his hair. I really want to see Davis Dundee, and I was a huge Lord Humongous mark. So yeah, I guess I will, because we also know somebody's going to lose their hair in that other match, and I'm thinking it's going to be Miss Texas. So that's what would probably get me to the Coliseum.
Yeah, I'm going, because even with my little kid logic at the time, and I was always accused of being over analytical and too logical as a kid, I know good and well there's not going to be two hair matches where nobody loses their hair.
Right,
Somebody's getting their head shaved.
And you know it's not going to be Lawler, so
not going to be Lawler. It's not going to be Jeff. Probably ain't going to be Dirty White Girl. So that narrows it down to Embry or Miss Texas. And I don't really think they're going to shave a lady's head. So it's probably going to be Eric Embry, and that's what we want to see. And I definitely want to see Dundee and Danny Davis. And the rest of it, not so much. But, you know, because I'm sure even Lawler is having trouble pulling a convincing second and third match out of Awesome Kong. I realize that first match probably went better than anybody expected, but now that we're on week 3, I think we've probably seen everything that Kong can do, and we've seen Lawler punch him from every convincing angle, because he's not out there body slamming Awesome Kong. He's not doing anything but punching this guy, and he may even do the random king drop kick that he would pull out every once in a blue moon. So there you go. Let's hear how this all played out, BT.
Mid-South Coliseum, we had Rockin' Randy beat Leatherface by DQ. USWA Tag Team Champs Jeff Jarrett and Robert Fuller beat the Goon Squad. Also, they had, I'm just giving you the order that I had. I don't know if this was the actual order.
Yeah.
There was only 6 matches, by the way. Jeff Jarrett and Dirty White Girl beat Miss Texas and Eric Embry in a hair versus hair match when Texas was pinned and her head was shaved. Lord Humongous won the USWA Texas title from Tom Pritchard. Danny Davis beat Bill Dundee to win the title back. And in the main event, Jerry Lawler beat Awesome Kong to win the unified title back in a hair versus title match. Lawler threw fire on Reggie B. Fine, but it didn't even come close to him, and Reggie B. Fine sold it anyway, is what Meltzer said. The next night has an interesting thing, which we always see, you know, the next they're on the loop, so the results are usually a week behind. We seen Dundee beat Davis for the belt in Louisville. And then we saw Kong beat Rockin' Randy. So Rockin' Randy jumped in and went ahead and got on the loop there. Fuller and White Girl beat Pritchard and Miss Texas. Jarrett beat Barroom Brawler 1, and Fuller beat Barroom Brawler 2, with both of them losing loser leave towns again in Louisville this time. Embry beat Humongous by count out, and I thought that was interesting to see. Rockin' Randy and Humongous already joined the loop there. And Lawler beat Leatherface in a hair versus mass match by using a chain, and they said Leatherface was Johnny Rotten. So I don't know which Johnny Rotten or who the hell they're talking about, but that was for Louisville. That's what I got.
All right, there you go. A couple of title changes on the card, and Miss Texas shaved bald. There is a picture out there online of Pritchard and Miss Texas where she has got the stone cold cue ball. I mean, it's, I guess, not a cue ball in that case, but anyway, slick down.
8 ball.
You said it, not me.
I said it.
Anyway, that wraps up the wrestling show portion of this show. It's time to go and talk about the plugs. BT, what's happening this week at stspod.club?
As always, we do Rolling into Memphis, and if you hadn't got a chance to see the main event on the last 2 shows of Memphis Wrestling, I highly recommend those main events. Some surprise stuff going on, fun. We did a Hit Me With Your First Shot with Steve Crawford, my old college roommate. I always call him my college roommate. He was not my college roommate. Also, we had some stuff on your feed that we had Memphis Monroe, which was a little a little controversial at one time. We also had Kayfabe Flicks with Josh and Richard, where we reviewed a porno movie, an adult movie. How about that? And I talked to the actors and actresses at the time. And just a lot of stuff coming. I have a studio now, and I did 2 recordings, one with Rob and one with Mike Anthony. The Mike Anthony interview went 2 hours and 37 minutes yesterday. And I also made an appearance earlier last week on Carmela Panfield's Carmela's Wrestling Radio Relived. And she had someone do research and gave me questions, and I was shocked. They knew that I had won the MSWA Manager of the Year 2 years in a row. How the hell did they find that on the internet? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, I was like, where do you even find that info? But you've been a busy man this week, BT. You even went to a party on Saturday night. So
man, I have. I got out on Friday, took the wife for her birthday. And went to Aldi, can you believe it? And then went to the birthday party and socialized with people, made jokes and everything. God.
BT, man about town this week. It's it's good for you every now and again, man. Get out there and see the people. All right. So. You know where that brings us to? P3 Radio. And when you're ready, producer Smokey says he's got your graphic for him. Did he name it right? Is that what you've been calling that?
Yeah, that's right. All right.
Good
First
job,
of all,
buddy.
it's 4 out of 5 hoots. It is the podcast that gives you videos instead of it does videos, but don't give you a description. The 1 minute timer is going right now. It's episode 447, Private Beach. We get a doctor visit with Richard. Richard does not have diabetes. Yay!
Good job.
They talk about breaking toilet seats. And it was a wooden toilet seat, and Richard might have had the funniest line of the week when he asked if he was in there shitting and whittling at the same time. That's the reason he broke it. Karaoke in Nashville, by the way, after they went to see Big J, who is really handsome, and I bet he smells good. But he's a karaoke expert. Richard is, especially in Nashville. He knows exactly where to go. LSD with Bill Cosby and a pudding pop. God,
on Epstein Island.
On Epstein Island. So funny. Richard wanted to watch people fight. Richard went to a taco. Oh, the minute is right. It's up. It's up.
There you go, folks. It's a shoot. He's not just telling you it's a minute. He's really timing it.
That's right. It was really good.
Yeah.
The thing with the touching the penises and his bit afterwards had me rolling. Really good episode.
Thanks.
Well, let's hope he didn't get any splinters off that wooden toilet
So
seat.
was he whittling? And I was like, oh my God. I just kept laughing. By the way, the song "The Midnight Rider" is on there. That was a song I came out to when I was the BT Express.
I haven't had a chance to listen yet, but I knew that song was on there because I got the copyright warning for YouTube about 3 minutes after they posted that episode. So they're the YouTube's the spoiler on what song the guys play each week before I get a chance to listen. So there you go. That covers P3 Radio and STSpod.club. You can check out RetroWrestlingArchive.club. The new episode of the Continental Review podcast dropped this past weekend.
Good episode, by the way. Really good episode.
Thank you. Thank you. We're having a lot of fun with that. I'm glad people are enjoying it. Of course, you know, this show, New Dangerous Conversations came out where the guys talked about breaking into the business, and Tommy Rich kind of talked about the difference between people trying to get in the business now and when he did it. He would not... Doug told him it was 51 years, and for some reason 51 sounds older to Tommy than 50. So me and Doug had to agree with him that it's 50 and a half because he will not say 51. I guess maybe just because 50 is a round number. But anyway, 50 and a half years ago when Tommy broke in, it was a lot different business and a lot different. Check that out. It's a fun conversation. As usual, it kind of goes all over the place. We have a topic, but it kind of strays, and that's usually where the fun happens and where the interesting tidbits and facts that I didn't know usually comes out on those side roads when we get on them. So I never always afterwards the guys will pop, hey, sorry, we kind of got off track. Like, nah, that's what we're here for, dude. That's where the show is. So hope you guys check that out. Of course, as always, you can join patreon.com/Shooting the Shiznit. That is Brian's Patreon. Also,
and we're going to put Rob. I'm going to just real quick. We're going to put Rob's interview up sometime for Patreon only. It won't go out till next week or the next. And then the interview with Mike Anthony is going to go uncut. I don't cut a thing out of the Patreon version. So if you're a Mike Anthony fan, join us up.
Did he really think he was a Moondog in '93?
You're not a moon dog.
Wrong Mike Anthony.
So look for Mike Anthony Uncut. Brian very soon. very soon.
Well, I don't know that for sure. I could ask though.
He was just your house for 2.5 hours. Don't tell me you don't know if he's uncut or not. I heard what the pass was to get out of there. No stone is left unturned. That's right. So it's free to get in, but it's going to cost you to get out of there. Patreon.com/Retro Wrestling Archive. Of course, all the podcasts go up there early, anywhere from 2 days to over a week sometimes, plus exclusive content that I don't put up anywhere else, including me and BT's exclusive shows like our CWA review, our watch-alongs, and some cool ICW footage that was sent to me that's some of the best quality I've seen anywhere. And I've been checking that out because the little bit of ICW footage I found in the past, the quality is so bad it's kind of hard to watch, but this is super clear, looks great. So that's worth a $5 just to check that out because you won't see that very often. All right, guys, I guess that is going to do it for this week. Any final words before we go?
Love my mama.
Me too.
That's it. We'll see you next week for another episode of the Retro Wrestling Review USWA podcast.
But doesn't matter. Jeff Jarrett! Let's talk about Jeff Jarrett. Let's talk about the long-haired punk of the Mid-South. Well, it's real simple. What I did to White Boy, man, I did it on purpose, Jarrett. Because Monday night, I'm gonna shave that dirty white girl's head. But big, bad, crazy. You think you're a little bit crazy, man. Jeff Jarrett steps in. You say you're tired of me beating everybody up. You say you're tired of me running down everybody. Well, Jeff Jarrett, I don't care what you're tired of. I ain't ever stinking one of these Tennessee idiots that's in the studio and all you idiots sitting at home. Now, Monday night, Memphis Mid-South Coliseum. Jeff Jarrett, the golden boy, simply irresistible.
irresistible. Well, I don't care what you are, Jeff Jarrett. You're a snotty-nosed punk kid, boy. You're just like your old man, Jerry Jack. He was nothing in professional wrestling, man. Just like I went through Jerry Lawler. Just like I went through your old grandfather, Eddie Marlin. Jeff Jarrett, I get on my knees, man, and I beg you, don't let nothing happen. Don't let nothing happen to you between now and Monday night, because I swear, I promising you, and I'm promising you idiots and everybody out there, that Monday night, Jeff Jarrett, me, myself, and I'm gonna shave your head bald, and there ain't nothing you or anybody else can do about it.
Get out of here.